Okay, so iodide, as I told you, is specific for the thyroid gland. Now, this is important. You see, when you consume this kind of salt, it's iodide for the thyroid gland. Most people don't use enough minerals today. That's why we encourage Celtic sea salt. That's why we encourage high potency iodine-iodide combination. You see, here's what's significant. Iodine is for the breast, your ovaries, and your testicles. So a woman could get cyst on her breast. A man could get issues with his testicle or prostate because of not enough iodine. Now here's a big word. It's called lipoperiodization. What the heck is that, Dr. Bob? Lipoperiodization is when cell membranes become very hard, okay? And the cell membranes are destroyed. Iodine stops the process, especially in breast tissue. So what I'm sharing with all the ladies that are here right now, if you want to prevent having cyst issues and breast cancer issues, you want to make sure you have adequate iodine inside of your body. Very significant. I've seen cysts on the ovaries go away with adding iodine to the body. Iodine has another anti-cancer property called apoptosis. Apoptosis is time cell death. Each cell has a life cycle. Cancer cells run rampant. Iodine has been shown to induce cell death in thyroid and breast cancer cells. You got that? That's really important. So if you are thinking that you may have a cancer issue in your body, it could be you don't have enough iodine. If you have cold hands and cold feet, do you understand how significant this is? Very important. Iodine can be negated by something we call goitrins. Here's what happens. Iodine first stabilizes cell membranes. I have some items here. This is Cascade. It can be any dishwasher soap. When you have dishwasher soap, and you do your dishwasher, and the steam comes out, that is chlorine. Chlorine is toxic, and it's antagonistic to iodine. All understand it? That's very important for you to get that. The next, which we already talked about, was bromine. So you have chlorine and bromine. Bromine is in hot tubs, swimming pools, white bread, certain sodas, certain beverages, certain psychoactive drugs. Paxil and Prozac, from what I've researched, has bromine in it. Where do you get fluorine from? Toothpaste. So a lot of people will use toothpaste to get their teeth strong, and they're actually causing stress to their thyroid gland. So we have toothpaste on our webpage. We have toothpaste here in the office that does not have fluorine in it. You do not want to use salt that has chlorine in it. So I need you to become label savvy, because the seriousness of it is there's a lot of women that have breast cysts, breast cancer, men have prostate cancer. So those are anti-thyroid type of items, which I just mentioned, bromine, fluorine, and chlorine. It's a very powerful antioxidant, more powerful that you can see than vitamin E, phosphatidylcholine, and vitamin C. Antioxidant is kind of like taking rust out of the body. I personally am taking 25 milligrams of iodoral, which is a high-potency vitamin iodine, every day. Goitrins are anti-iodine. They're anti-thyroid. They interfere with the metabolism of iodine. That's bromine. Is in bread, soda pop, certain beverages, certain medications. Chlorine is found in municipal water. The reason I have this shower dechlorinator, we make these available in our office and on our webpage. If you live in America today, you're getting too much chlorine from your shower. You're breathing it in. It's antagonistic to iodine. You could have major calcium problems. You have cramps in your legs. It could be a sign of not enough calcium in your body because of poor thyroid function. Hot tubs. Fluorine is found in toothpaste, tap water, dental work. Dental work. A lot of times you'll go to your dentist, and I have a gentleman that was a radio host that was having major jaw problems, and he was having calcium problems, and he was getting prescription strength fluorine. Soy. Soy is antagonistic to iodine, and other vegetables, especially raw ones. So if you're going to eat broccoli, cabbage, and cauliflower, steam them. Steam it. Lightly saute it. I'm not saying you can't ever have it raw. I'm just making a suggestion to diversify. So let me talk about some notes here. Iodine helps maintain the proper ratio of estrogen in the body. Now look at this. There's 3 kinds of estrogen we're going to talk about, and I talk about these in Dr. Bob's Drugless Guide to Balancing Female Hormones. estrone, estriol, and estradiol. I said, Dr. Bob, those are big words. That's why I wrote them down for you. I said, I have to write all these notes down today. Estriol helps protect against breast cancer. Imbalances in estrogen production are associated with weight gain, mood swings, diabetes, and cancer of the breast, ovary, and uterus. It's impossible to maintain optimal estrogen with an iodine deficiency. Do you understand how significant this iodine is? Okay, it's huge. In animal studies, there's altered breast tissue, which results in breast cancer when you don't have enough iodine. Fibrocystic disease can result without adequate iodine. With low iodine exposure to environmental estrogens, you can see why we have an epidemic of breast cancer. Cysts are a sign you should have your iodine levels checked. See, here's what's going on today. We're exposed to so many chemicals. See, the problem is we don't have enough iodine in our bodies in the first place, but then we're exposed to bromine, fluorine, and chlorine. So I need you to understand that's really, really important. So you've got, it is so important that men are having prostate cancer, they're having prostate taken out, women are getting their breasts taken off. So if you're listening to me right now on the internet, or if you're watching this and you have cold hands and cold feet, cysts on your breast, have your thyroid levels checked. What we have decided to do is that we are doing a special urine test. It's a 24-hour urine test. And what we do is you, for 4 days, take no supplements at all. On the morning of the fourth or the third morning, you'll take 50 milligrams of high-potency iodine. First you urinate in a container. We save that. It's called the pre-test. You take the 50 milligrams of iodine, and then for the next 24 hours, we save this urine in this container here. And then we get the very last amount when you're all done, so we can have a beginning and an end, and we send this to a lab, and that lab will tell us how much iodine your body is excreting. You want to excrete 95% of the iodine that you take in. That's very significant. If you're not excreting 95% of what you just took in, as far as the test, that means your body does not have enough iodine in it. So it's called the urinary iodine loading test. For 4 days, 3 or 4 days, you take no supplements. On the third morning or the fourth morning, you take 50 milligrams of iodine after you get a sample to see what kind of iodine you have in your body. So if you're putting 50 milligrams in, your body should be not needing to take it all in. So you should be excreting 95% of that. Does that make sense to you? Because if you're keeping it in your body, that means your body is deficient in it. But if you're using Celtic sea salt, you're eating sea vegetables, if you're staying away from white bread, you got the whole deal, and you're taking your iodine, you're going to have warm hands, you're going to have warm feet, you're not going to have a chronic sinus problem. Very, very significant. With low iodine, you're going to have increased prostate cancer. They've done studies with mainland Japanese men with their U.S. counterparts, and the U.S. counterparts, same family members, were having more prostate issues because they changed their diet. Thyroid conditions like Graves' disease and Hashimoto's, from my observation, this is my personal observation, they always don't have enough iodine in their body. See, here's what happens. Now, you see that right there, that RES? Now, I don't expect you to spell it, but it's the reticuloendothelial system. What is that, Dr. Bob? If you don't have enough nutrients in your body, and your body starts to break down, like your thyroid gland starts to break down, the RES system, the reticuloendothelial system, is going to go and scavenge all those dead cells. But if it's overwhelmed, see, if your thyroid breaks down because you don't have enough thyroid or enough iodine for it, and the thyroid tissue is released through your whole body, that's what Hashimoto's is. Your body's attacking itself. But why? If nobody ever asks, why is it happening? So I'm believing in my heart and through my study that what's going on is that people don't have enough iodine in their body in the first place. So this urine iodine loading test is very, very significant. Another test that I suggest you do is a test called TSH, T3, and T4. TSH, T3, and T4 are thyroid tests. Now they don't necessarily tell me how much iodine you have in your body, but TSH, T3, and T4 are really important when it comes to iodine levels in your body, because if your T4 and your T3 are low, and this happens to be in my book, Dr. Bob's Drugless Guide to Balancing Female Hormones, if your T4 and your T3 levels are low, you don't have enough iodine. We also do hair analysis. So when we do a hair analysis on you, and if your calcium level is high and your potassium level is low, chances are you have a low thyroid gland. People who have low thyroid glands usually don't have enough iodine in their body. So, does anybody have any questions? We can shut it off. Dr. Jim, you can shut it off.